and welcome to the Radiant Eclipse MLP broadcast. This is episode 2, recorded on April 8th, 2012. My name's Vanicus, and I'll be your guide through this wonderful world of rainbow-colored Equin. Please put your hopes together for this week's co-host.
Hey everyone, I'm that one guy. How you doing?
Every week we start off the show by introducing our special guest. Some of us are famous and well recognized for our merits. Others are no different than you and me. Today with us we have Psystorm. Welcome to the show.
Hey everybody, I'm Psystorm. I've been a fanfiction writer for over a decade now. I've been into ponies for this past year, writing them up. I got 2 fictions on Equestria Daily. My favorite character in the show is Rainbow Dash. My favorite episode, I suppose right now, would be Lesson Zero. And what I enjoy most about the fandom is the incredible amount of artistic and written talent that it's exposed from all of its fans. It's awesome.
Alright, hi everybody. I think one of the things I've been known for is just being with the Vanicus blog for quite a majority of some of its episodes, and I guess that's how I kind of got on with this whole bandwagon. But I'll be honest, I enjoyed quite a lot of it, and right now, I'm here with everyone, and still enjoying it, so I'm pretty excited for all this, and anything else that here's to come. I think one of my favorite characters is probably the Dr. Hooves character. I don't know, I've seen him a couple times here and there, just because everyone loves background characters, me included. I think I'd have to say I like a lot of the episodes, though. I don't really have a particular favorite, but I guess that's my advantage, not really having anything specific, but I like all of the episodes for a majority of the part. I don't know what I enjoy about most of the fandom, but I just like that everybody's contributing to this franchise and enjoying all of that they can have for this, and yeah.
Alright, so now that everyone's been introduced, it's time to start the show. So every week we invite a new guest to the show and try to get to know them a little bit better. This is the Limelight segment of the show. We have an amazing guest, so let's get to know them a little bit better. So, Psystorm, how did you become a brony?
I became a brony while I was paying attention to... I heard about the show because I recognized the name Lauren Faust for doing Powerpuff Girls. I didn't really pay attention to it except all the artwork that was coming out, and then eventually once about 3 of my friends became hopelessly addicted, I sat down and watched all of Season 1. And now I am hopelessly addicted.
So, how did you become a chat moderator for FemFiction?
I first joined the chat when it was only a few weeks old. The website itself wasn't that old yet. I started hanging out in there for a while. Once it was starting to pick up in popularity, the site moderators, which was just Nighty and Walla at the time, decided to ask me if I wanted to moderate the chat for them, since I was in a completely different time zone, and I was there all the time, and I was one of the only relatively sane people in there. So I accepted, and I've been in there ever since as a moderator.
What steps does it take you to produce a fanfiction? Where do you start? And how do you make it to the end with a great story?
A lot of my fanfiction ideas are coming when I'm just walking around at work. I'm usually alone, I have a lot of time to think, so all kinds of stuff comes to my head. It's hard for me to actually sit down and get to writing it, because I'm usually completely exhausted from work. But once I do, sometimes it's on nights, sometimes it's on my days off. When I think up all my ideas, I don't know if anybody else does, I pretty much craft an entire story in my head, and then I figure out like 80% of what's going to happen. I figure out dialogue, what ponies and people are going to say to each other, and then at that point it's just basically getting it written down and figuring out all the little details into it. It's a really weird writing process, and I don't know how unique it is, but that's how I go about it.
Alright, so what was the greatest thing that happened while you were monitoring a chat room?
Well, I don't know if there's anything that's the greatest thing. I've been in IRC chats for well over a decade now, but I guess one of the coolest things that's happened since I've been in the FIM fiction chat would be when a couple of really good authors have joined in there a couple times, and I've had long conversations with them, including one who was under a different name. I didn't really know it was him until he IM'd me, and we talked for like hours, so that stuff is pretty cool. There's not a whole lot of top-name authors actually appear in there, so it is really nice when they decide to pop in and say hi to everybody.
What are your favorite fanfic genres?
I read a little bit of everything except for, I don't really like crossovers, but I read a lot of romance and comedy fictions, and I've been known to read some dark fictions as well, but it really just depends on the synopsis and if I recognize the author.
What are your favorite stories? Which fanfictions the community has produced that you've enjoyed the most?
I have a whole lot of favorites. My absolute favorite that I get to people is Merely a Mare by Eben Main, which recently wrapped up, and pretty much anything written by him is amazing. I also love Composure. I need to read Eternal. I also love Daedrin's Fix, like Off the Edge of the Map, and Apotheosis. And of course Connor Cogworth with On Across an Arrow.
have you read troll fics like Spider Sis? And do you think they're important within the fanfic portion of our fandom?
I have not read Spiders'. I've read a couple of troll fics that were honestly very terrible. I do not really think troll fics are very important. It's pretty much on the same level as just some really small, useless fanfic that a random person pumps out. I don't really care for anything like that. I like, big actual projects that had a lot of thought put into them, without that thought being, I'm just gonna troll everybody and be stupid.
Alright. Is there a project you're working on that you'd like to see completed?
I have my story right now called My First Party that only has 2 more chapters and an epilogue, and I really need to get that updated. Otherwise, the stuff I want to see completing is the stuff I haven't even started yet. Couple different story ideas, and one of them should be fairly big, so we'll see how that works out.
Now it's time for our first round of current events. Riot Games, the game company responsible for making one of our cast's favorite games, League of Legends, has just released a new champion for their competitive MMO, Hikaru. He's 50% Equid, so he's at least 20% cooler than any other champion they've produced so far. So, a while back, Riot admitted to there being bronies on their staff, so they gave a special emote to the character for all the pony-loving summoners. Suffering is magic. Of course, it's nothing you'd see approved by Hasbro, but our grimdark fictions definitely play tribute to these epic chain of events. So, do you think more game companies should reference ponies? Why not? It's a great show that deserves all the attention it can get.
I like the idea. I mean, sharing this franchise, among other things, is kind of like the... Actually, I just lost my train of thought, didn't I?
I don't see why not. If they have bronies on their staff, if they want to add little pony references into their games later, see if we can find them, that'd be pretty... Because I know like Blizzard likes to put little things into I think they put little things in the Diablo game. I haven't really played them in forever, but I think Gabe over at Valve is a brony. You could conceivably see a little pony reference hidden in a Valve game. I wouldn't mind. I don't really play any PC games, honestly, but I don't play League of Legends either, but I do like the idea of this Hecarim guy with his suffering his magic. That sounds pretty funny. If the references are obvious enough and you can find them, why not? It's a great little treat for us to find. Plenty of bronies play video games. I see no problem with it.
I personally don't play that many video games. Though I am a brony and do play League of Legends, I feel I'm pretty much privileged to have something like this happen. So, I would say yes, it's a great idea. It's kind of like gives the developers the chance to sneak in little secret Easter eggs in any other game. And anybody who's playing it as a brony would just notice, I'm like, oh my god, I love the developers for doing this. And it makes the game more fun, not in maybe respect of what the game's actually about, but it just lets the audience, the gamers, know that, hey, they like bronies, and so do you, and that's awesome. I just love this idea, and I think anybody who wants to should go ahead and do that.
Of course, because I am a huge brony and I love the idea of seeing our colorful ponies invade other franchises. And it's not only the recognition, which I think is fantastic for others, but awareness. If people think a joke is being made and they don't get it, they might start searching on the web and eventually discover the series and, get more people to the herd. And not just references within games, but, fan games like Fighting is Magic, which is being made by Main 6 Dev, have the potential of turning a whole bunch of people who don't even know what the series is about. And he said, hey, My Little Pony, well, these guys are making an arcade fighter game based off of ponies. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's really fun and a lot of my friends are playing it. And then, of course, people will go into the series and try it out. And if they like the game so much, they'll go, well, why did these game developers love these ponies so much? Hey, we should check out the show too. And there you have it. We have more bronies, we have more people enjoying the series, and you know what? You have something awesome, share it with everyone who hasn't yet experienced it. And there's a lot of gamers who are also bronies, and I think it is a cool way of getting more people interested in the show through similar media. So, yeah, I think more game companies should do it because it's awesome. Now it's time to finish up our news with our last set of current events. Behind the Voice Actors has released their first annual rewards, and some popular voice actors and actresses from Friendship is Magic made it on the list. Andrea Libman, who voices Pinkie Pie, and Tara Strong, who voices Twilight Sparkle, both got nominated for Best Female Lead Vocal Performance in a Television Series. John Delancey, who played Discord, was nominated for Best Vocal Performance in a Television Series as a guest role. So, are there any voice actors you'd like to see appear on Friendship is Magic in the future?
I don't know that many voice actors, and I certainly didn't actually know the voice actors who were in this show before. If there was somebody really famous who I would hear about beforehand who was on the show, I'd be surprised, I would be excited, I'd be thrilled. That would be awesome, but until then, I'm pretty unsure. For positivity's sake, go right ahead.
There's a lot of voice actors they're pretty prolific in their work for video games, cartoons, and all that. I don't know if they could ever necessarily appear in Friendship is Magic, because since they do so much, I'm pretty sure they're among the higher paid voice actors in this stuff, so I don't know if Hasbro would bring in those people just to voice, some episodes. I don't think John Delancey's doing so much, so it's, he probably was hard, but like someone like Stephen Bloom or all those other voice actors that pop up in all these video games I play. I don't know if Hasbro would pay for them, but it'd be nice if I could recognize, because it's pretty cool when I can listen to a pony character and go, I can't recognize that voice. Like, I found out that the guy, one of the voice actors from Ed, Edd n Eddy, actually two of the voice actors from Ed, Edd n Eddy have appeared in Friendship is Magic, if you didn't know that. And some voice actors like that from older shows, I love to hear them, other than I don't know all their names. As for another thing I think would be funny is since John Delancey has appeared as Discord and is apparently going to appear as again, probably in season 3, we thought it would be funny if they had more Star Trek actors appear. So it's kind of like the My Little Pony would take on sort of a Gargoyles thing, or the old Gargoyles cartoon. By sheer coincidence, had like 6 actors all come in and voice characters, and they were all happened to have been starred at some point on Star Trek. I think it'd be funny if all of them just like came back and just voiced ponies for us. So now it's like Ponies is now Gargoyles. It's full of Star Trek actors, and that's awesome.
First and foremost, Weird Al Yankovic, he's awesome. I met this guy. He's an awesome musician, and he's extremely wacky and zany.
I'm jealous.
You were able to meet him in person.
Yes, that is a story for another time. It was pretty awesome. I was picking up streamers backstage. Apparently, I was standing in an autograph line and didn't know it, and because we were already past security, no one checked us for tickets. And yeah, ended up meeting him. So, hooray for lack of security.
That's amazing.
That's Spokane for you.
He also needs to do a pony song, like a polka medley.
Yeah, like, imagine Weird Al and Pinkie Pie having a polka. I mean, Pinkie's already done some polka.
It would be the best thing ever.
Another voice actor I really want to see is John DiMaggio. I think he's most famous for his voice as Bender from Futurama.
Exactly.
But he also plays Jake from Adventure Time, and he's done tons of voices in video games. You hear his voice all the time.
He's in Mad World. I love that game. He's hilarious in it. Him and Greg Proops.
So he's definitely on my list. Zach or Jeremy Shada, they both play Finn in Adventure Time, and for some reason, it's just a good voice for a character. It's shrill. It's it's crazy. It's like a high energy character, and in that voice, I don't know. I could see a very, very excited, enthusiastic pony having that voice, and it would be awesome. The last one that I can think of at the very moment would be Tom Kenny, and this guy, he's done voices in Adventure Time. He does the Ice King and Gunter. From what was it? He plays the Penguin and Oswald from Cobblepot, and that was from the 2004 Batman series. He plays, 4 different characters in Batman the Brave and the Bold, such as Babyface, Deadshot, Amazing Man, Mirror Master, and actually 2 more, the Plastic Man and Ray. Plays 5 characters on Camp Lazlo, such as Lumpus, Slinkman, Beaver, Big Hairy Mountain Man, and Carl the Yeti. In Cat and Dog, he voiced Dog, and also Clifford. He also played characters in Codenames Kid Next Door, the Cramp Twins, Cosmic Quantum Ray. He also voiced Crunchy in the Dan Versus series. He was also Val Hallen from Dexter's Laboratory.
He gets around.
He was also Yancey Fry Jr. in Futurama. He also did voices in the 2001 Flintstones series. He was Cupid in The Fairly Odd Parents. He was Eduardo in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
The list goes on.
I'd be surprised if he wasn't already in My Little Pony, and we just don't know it.
Somebody should check that.
In The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, he plays Bobo, Bobo Bear, and Wiggly. He does voices in Green Lantern. Oh my gosh, he was in Handy Manny. This is a children's show that I was forced to watch with my nephew. And he plays Pat, Mr. Lopert, and Fluffy Lucy Lopert, who looks like a cat in a piggy bank. He was also in Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, released in 2000, and he was Bobo again. Elroy Johnson, Choo Choo in Top Cat.
I told you that list doesn't go. It just keeps going.
Okay, I'll just start listing shows then. He's in My Gym Partner's a Monkey. He was Jake Spider Monkey, Henry Armadillo, Dinky's Sugar Jumper, Marvin Hammy, David Coppertrout, Coach Horace.
Vanicus is fangasming.
Oh my gosh. He was in Samurai Jack in 2001.
What?
He was The Analyst. He was Churchron 6, Churchillette Leader, The Idealist, The King, The Monkar, The Master Ning, and Og. He was a whole bunch of characters in Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, What's New Scooby-Doo. Oh, I can't believe I didn't know this. He is also the voice of SpongeBob.
Wait, what? Hold on a minute. He's the voice of SpongeBob.
He's even the voice of SpongeBob.
Oh god, if the
Dirty
voice of
Bubble.
SpongeBob got into My Little Pony, people would die.
Oh my god. I don't even know what to say.
Here, I got
Wonder that show was popular.
Now, instead of going on for another 10 minutes about all the voice roles he's played, I'm just gonna link the page and you guys can find it in the show notes.
Sure thing.
But this guy's essentially legendary in the voice acting community, and getting him on the Friendship is Magic roster would be awesome.
I have a name that I wouldn't mind seeing. I don't even know if he's doing voice acting anymore. I'd add Carlos Alazraqui. Yeah, I'd love to hear him.
Not all shows offer meaningful lessons at the end of each episode. Even less offer hidden morals within the script. And sometimes the series may force you to question everything you thought you knew about a character. You're about to enter a new segment on our program, and it's time to read between the lines. So, on Season 2, Episode 24 of Friendship is Magic, Mystery on the Friendship Express, Pinkie Pie and Company attempt to carry a massive cake without it falling. On Episode 17 of the very same season, Hearts and Hooves Day, Big Mac effortlessly drags an entire house while under the effects of a love potion. However, he has great trouble carrying a cake that's much lighter and smaller than the house in proportion. So, is this a massive continuity error within the episode, or have we overlooked something? Because, it just doesn't take strength to carry a multi-layered cake. It also takes balance and finesse, which Big Mac probably lacked. So, is this an error, or just cleverly designed?
You know what I think? Cakes are round, right? So
Go
So
on.
if he's carrying a round-shaped cake on a round platter, and he is a pony, a stallion, and, well, is he a stallion or is he still a colt? It doesn't matter. Anyways,
I'm pretty sure it's a stallion, but go on.
you carry that on your back. It's not really that easy to carry. Your back is definitely not flat. So I can see that not being easy, but I'm not seeing it being heavy. A house he was dragging it, not actually holding it. So if he was ridiculously strong and could drag a house, that's, what, fine. I'll take that. But if he's having problems holding cake, I'm not gonna question the weight. It's about the shape of the object at hand. Like, I can carry a box, right? And it's not that big, but it could be really heavy, right? And I'd have a problem even picking it up. If I was carrying something really big but really light, I'd still have a problem carrying it. Because if it was, like, pretty much paper light, it was just big, then it would be really awkward to hold it. At least that's what my reasoning is on the subject.
So, you're saying it's more about how fragile the cake was and them trying not to destroy the cake, not more so of how heavy it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard to destroy a cake. When it comes to a house, houses are built to last. And as far as dragging it goes, as long as there's no, stone foundation, the house would drag relatively easy. Although I'm pretty sure at some point it would eventually fall apart.
And we also got to remember that Big Mac was definitely under some serious love potion during the events.
Yeah, he's probably not, fully
super
conscious.
adrenaline strength. I must go see her.
Well, I can easily ruin that because it's pretty much that the thing is that dragging the house was pretty much just a joke. Like, I don't think it's meant to be a continuity error that he has trouble carrying a cake later. It's also because I don't think there's actually a lot of continuity in between the episodes. Some of the episodes have strings of continuity, but for the most part, they want the episodes to kind of stand alone. So one episode, just as a joke, you have Big Macintosh dragging a house when Apple Bloom thought it would stop him. And then the next episode, he's trying to balance the cake on his back, and it wasn't just about balance. You could tell he was actually his legs were all wobbly, like it was heavy. I knew as soon as that scene came up, everyone's going to wonder, well, he dragged a house in the previous episode. You guys are idiots. No, they're just cartoons. It's just a cartoon joke. The dragging the house was a cartoon joke. I honestly don't believe Big Mac is that strong, love potion or not. I just think it was a joke.
Yeah, I'm just playing the devil's advocate and invoking these questions, but we do remember it is a cartoon, so there will be just Pinkie Pie, just this Iron Will and her walking on the sky, weird stuff, becoming objects and being able to travel faster than light.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is cartoon, but sometimes I gotta wonder if we should overanalyze the scene or not, or if we're not analyzing it enough. There's some things as fans we want more than anything else, so let's stop and imagine what it is we want most in our new segment, Wishful Thinking. So, what if a game company was hired to make a massive online game of My Little Pony? What features or styles of gameplay would you like to see in it? Would you prefer it to be a social game, a quest-based adventure game, or an open-world sandbox-style game? Which type would you enjoy playing most?
If anybody made a My Little Pony game, I'm really going to have to consider, at least for a small amount of seriousness, what kind of rating this game would end up being. It's definitely going to be an E game, no matter how you slice it. If it was my way, though, it would probably end up being T, mostly because if it was a sandbox game in which you were allowed to pretty much destroy everything. I'm talking about like the Red Faction destroy everything, where you could just blow up a hole, make a cave with a rocket launcher, and all that nonsense. And I'm talking about like the older one before the new game came out, which I think was... I didn't play it. I played the older one though. Although I'm pretty sure it would end up being a more social and quest-based. But I would personally enjoy sandbox, like 100% sandbox destruction. But yeah, that's just me.
And remember that this game doesn't necessarily have to be made by Hasbro. This could be a MMO made by the fans as well.
That would have a lot of dedication for the fans to make an MMO.
If fans made it, I think it'd probably be something open world sandbox style, like Minecraft, except Minecraft is building. But if it was fan made or something, it'd probably be sandbox, which I'd probably prefer, like a social sandbox style game. I don't play anything online, but gameplay wise, yeah, I'd want something like a quest based adventure. But for something like ponies, I'd be personally fine with just a social sandbox style game where you could just design some kind of pony and then have that be your character, maybe make some other characters. There'd probably be a whole lot of role playing, but it would be fun.
Right, and I'm actually going to say the same. I think a social sandbox game with the option of it being open world exploration, for example, if you want to go, let's say, explore the Everfree Forest and, make your way to Appaloosa, you're not hindered. Or if you're a Pegasi and you want to, fly from, Cloudsdale to Las Pegasus, no one's going to stop you. You can take the train, or you can walk, or you can, fly, you can... As a unicorn, you can use magic and teleport places. I want to see a game that is specifically for socializing and interacting with the other players in kind of the way that you already see in roleplay forums that you see online, but more immersive, more design, customization, special events. And I think just the greatest thing about our community is actually socializing and interacting with other bronies, and this game would offer that, and is, I think, a social sandbox with exploration, the aspect of being able to choose how you want to travel to these different areas and these different buildings you want to explore, and different areas where different events may be held. And as far as the gameplay is concerned, maybe have mini games like, for example, if you wanted to run a, I don't know, like a mixer, or have a music club and you were going to be the disco for the night, you'd get that option. You'd get to play with the music equipment, and the other players in the audience would also get to listen to you, so it'd be interactive. Stuff like that. That would really make this game more so about interacting with the other players, but have it open enough so that you can really get the sense that you're taking your place in this huge world everyone knows is Equestria. So I'm sure there's a lot people could do with that, but that's the kind of game I would want to play from this series.
And it would be kind of interesting to see like some sort of Fallout Equestria adaptation.
I guess, maybe.
Although, it's not a bad idea, but it's not like the best idea. It's probably just like one of many.
And maybe that could be a part of its appeal, is there could be different, mods, I guess you could say, where there could be different servers for different ones. Like, if there was supposed to be a grimdark post-apocalyptic server where a majority of the cities are destroyed, and it's more about, forming groups and finding other survivors and, finding new ways of getting resources and food and surviving the radiation. And, that could be fun. It can still be cooperative and social in that regard, while more so the different servers would be more like different settings that you could interact in. And I think that is an interesting mode that would also work for the genre.
Yeah, I could definitely see having different servers dedicated to different people, depending on how they want to play the game, if it was made.
Once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning into this broadcast. If you'd like to join us or listen to any of our other programs, you can contact me on my personal blog at vanicus.com. That's VANACUS.com. Also, feel free to check out our page on Everfree Radio's official website, as well as any of the other amazing programs that happen to be there. And if you're fortunate enough to be streaming this on YouTube, then by all means click that delicious subscribe button. You won't regret it. Thanks for your time. See you online.
So you better run. You start to quote the bend into your own common sense. You don't know on the run to help you mount a defense. you're dead. It's gonna be